Very good morning, students. Today, our topic is that second law is the real law of motion. To prove this, the second law is real law. We have to prove first law from second law, and then we will prove third law of motion from second law. If we will prove these both laws from second law, then we can say that second law of motion is a real law of motion. First of all, first law from second law. According to second law of motion, we know that F is equal to ma, mass into acceleration. Now, if we take that F is equal to 0, means no force is acting on the system. It means ma is 0. From this condition, either m is equal to 0 or a is equal to 0. But we know that the mass of a body can't be 0, so m can't be 0. It means a should be 0. Means acceleration is 0. Now if acceleration is 0, from this equation v is equal to u plus at. If acceleration is 0, then v is equal to u, means initial velocity is equal to final velocity, or we can say that velocity of the system remains constant. Or either initially at starting point u is equal to 0. If u is equal to 0, then v is equal to 0. Or v is equal to u or u is equal to v. It means we can say that this is the first law. First law was saying that any body continue into its motion of or its state of rest into state of motion or a particular direction until an external force is applied to the system. Now external force is 0, so body will have either at rest position or moving with the continuous speed or same speed, constant speed. Clear? So first law prove. Second is third law from second law. Third law from second law. For this we will take two bodies A and B. Two bodies A and B which are mutually interacting. Mutually interacting bodies A and B such that no external force act on the system. Means no external force. No force is acting. If external force is not acting, it means while interaction, A body applies an force to B body and B body applies a force to A body. Clear? Now if we take that FAB is the force, AB in the foot, FAB is the force exerted by A on body B, and FBA is a force exerted by body B on body A. Then it means if dp1 by dt and dp2 by dt are the rate of change of momentum of two bodies, means if FAB is body force exerted by A to B, then its momentum will change. Okay? If B exert FBA to A, then its momentum will change. So we have taken the momentum P1 and P2 and dP1 dP2, they are the rate of change of momentum. Now according to second law, we know that F is equal to dP by dt if we ignore the constant or we take k is equal to 1. Similarly, if body B applies on force A, that is FBA force, then momentum of body A will be changed, means dP1. If P1 is the change momentum of body A, P2 is the momentum of body B, so we can say that FBA is equal to dP1 by dt. Similarly, FAB is equal to dP2 by dt. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Now adding both equation, FAB plus FBA is equal to dP1 by dt plus dP2 by dt. Clear? Or we can take d by dt as common, P1 plus P2. The total momentum of the system remains constant. Already we know this from conservation of linear momentum in first unit, that total momentum of the system remains constant. It means P1 plus P2 is equal to a constant. We will put here constant. So FAB is plus FBA is equal to d by dt of constant. Now derivative of constant, this d by dt of constant term is 0. So we can say that FAB plus FBA is equal to 0, or FBAB is equal to minus of FBA. Means force exerted by A on B and force exerted by B on A, they are equal but in opposite direction. This is our third law, that to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So we have proved the third law from second law. Next is law of conservation of linear momentum. Already we have done this law in first unit. We have done just a statement. Now we will do in detail. It states that if no external force acts on the system, no external force acts on the system, then total linear momentum of the system remains constant. Momentum remains constant. Means if we are taking two momentum P1 plus P2 of the system, two systems, then it is equal to constant. We have to prove this. Or we can say that if due to mutual, if we can say that MB, or we can prove it M1 U1 initial velocity, M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. We can also prove this, that initial momentum should be equal to the final momentum of the system of two bodies. Clear? Now if in the interaction we are taking the two bodies having initial momentum P1 and P2, after interaction their momentum changes P1 dash and P2 dash. Clear? Means A and B bodies are there. Okay? This is of A body and this is of B body, and after the collision this is of A body and this is momentum of the B body. And similarly, and interaction, if we are taking that interaction lasts for time t. Interaction lasts for time delta t. This delta t means the time of interaction. And similarly, we have taken that FAB is the force exerted by A on B, and FBA is the force by B on A. So it means if we are taking these force, they will change the momentum of the body. Or we can say that if FAB into delta T, this is impulse. Impulse, we already know that impulse is equal to change in momentum. In impulse topic we have done this, that impulse is equal to change in momentum. Now if FAB force is there, so whose momentum will be changed? Momentum of the body B. Change in momentum of body B. Similarly, FBA into delta T, change in momentum of body A. Clear? Or we can write it as FAB delta T, that is equal to body B the momentum change, final momentum that P2 dash minus P2. Similarly, FBA into delta T, this is equation number 1, that will be P1 dash minus P1, because P1 dash is final momentum of body A and P1 is the initial momentum of body A. Now, according to third law, that FAB is equal to minus of FBA. Already we know that. We multiply this third equation with delta T on both sides. So FAB is equal to minus FBA into delta T into delta T. Now we already have the values of this FAB into delta T and FBA into delta T. We will put the values in this question number 4. Clear? That FAB, what is FAB? Change in momentum of body B, that is P2 dash minus P2 minus of equal to minus of P1 dash minus P1. So it will be P2 dash minus P2 is equal to P1 dash minus P1 dash plus P1. So we will take this dash terms towards one side and initial momentum towards one side. So we can say that this is initial momentum of the system, this is final. So initial momentum is equal to final momentum. It means total momentum of the system remains constant. Clear? We can say this. Now next is applications of conservation of linear momentum. Very first application means when a bullet is fired from a gun, then gun recoils back, or we can say that it gives a kick in backward direction. When bullet is fired from the gun, it recoils, means it comes to the backward direction. This is just to maintain or to conserve the linear momentum before and after the firing. Clear? Let us consider this in detail, that when bullet and the gun initially they are at rest position, they don't have any velocity or initial velocity. When firing was not there at that time, the bullet and gun are at a rest position, means u is equal to 0, or momentum, we can say that momentum is equal to 0. But when bullet is fired from the gun, then its momentum changes with very high speed, because bullet goes with very high speed. To maintain this momentum or to conserve the initial momentum and final momentum momentum of the system, the gun recoils backward, or gun gives the kick in backward direction. Clear? Then next is same. When we firing the bullet, gun must be hold tight to the shoulder, so that gun and body of the man and which is holding that gun behave like a one system, otherwise he will get hurt. Due to this fact, army officers or any police inspector, before joining the duty they are trained well for firing. Clear? This is due to that initial momentum is very low and final momentum is very high. That's why the gun must be hold very tightly to the shoulder of the man or to the officer, so that they behave like a one system and he or she will not get hurt. Clear? Then third is when a man jumps from a boat. A man jumps from a boat to the to a shore. ਮੀਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੋਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਰਿਵਰ ਦੇ ਕਿਨਾਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਨ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੰਪ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੋਟ ਹੈ ਦੈਟ ਮੂਵ ਸਲਾਈਟਲੀ ਅਵੇ ਫਰੋਮ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੋ the ship or the boat will move away from the shore. This is due to conservation of linear momentum. And next, last one, fourth one, rockets work on the principle of conservation of momentum. The rockets are ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ principle of conservation of momentum ਤੇ act ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. Clear? Initially their momentum, because gases and the rocket are in rest position, their momentum is very low because mass is there, but finally when rocket launches then their momentum is very high. To conserve these momentum, the gases pushes in backward direction and the rocket launches in forward direction. This is also according to third law of Newton also we can say that. Clear? Next is equilibrium of congruent forces. Equilibrium of congruent forces. Congruent forces. If the number of forces are acting on a same point, means काफी सारी forces same point act कर रही हैं, they are called the congruent forces. Now equilibrium, what is the condition for equilibrium? Equilibrium condition means when number of forces, congruent forces are acting at a point, if they give the zero resultant force. If they give the zero resultant force, then we can say that the congruent forces are in equilibrium. And we can say that if F1, F2 up to so on Fn, they are the congruent forces acting at a point, then they are said to be in equilibrium if F1 plus F2 up to so on Fn is equal to 0. If they will give the zero effect, we can say that the number of forces are in equilibrium. Clear? Up to this, if you will have any problem, you can ask. Then in next topic we will do its next friction topic.